Burnouts. On this pod, we have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we quickly talk about the Timberwolves game, but not really. We're just sad about it. We're moving on. Not a good matchup. We do preview the Bulls game that's coming up tonight and the Pacers game as well, and the OKC Thunder game that's on the second night of a back-to-back. Just to talk to the Bulls game, since it is happening right away. It's happening tonight. We will be playing the Bulls for the second time this season. Earlier this year, when we did play against them, the Heat beat them 143-107. This was an NBA Cup game. The Bulls have not been playing well since then. They are the 22nd offense in the league, the 20th defense. They have some injuries. They have Giddey out, Collins is out, Jalen Smith is out, Kobe White is day-to-day. Yeah, they're just not doing very well. They're on the second line of a back-to-back. This should be another blowout for the Heat. I don't care that Bam is still injured. I don't care that Jaime is out. I mean, I do care, but not in terms of whether or not the Heat should win this game handedly. So looking forward to that. Pacers game is another hopeful dub on the menu, and then the Thunder game. We'll dig into that a lot more, but not too excited about that one in terms of our chances. And then some league-wide stuff. Trae Young is a wizard. James Dolan thinks the New York Knicks are championship favorites. I mean, of course, he would say that. And a few other things, including league-wide topics like if Jaylen Brown is actually good. He is. And if the league is moving on from all the old heads, the people of mine and maybe your generation. We'll get into all that and more after this. We're starting this not feeling the best because, quite frankly, the Heat did not perform the best. And I've said this before, it's hard. They make it hard on me to do this podcast, to do this job of mine, this full-time job, 70, 80 hours a week that I dedicate to this, when they come out and play the way they did against the Timberwolves. We're joined here today by Hansel Pupo today. Thank you, Hansel Pupo. Any quick sad comments about the Wolves game?
Shouts out, broke my wrist. But this also ties to the subject.
Because you got so frustrated after the loss, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
You can't always be down forever.
That's true.
Today,
we're up.
Tomorrow, maybe the next month, maybe the next year, but you're never going to be down forever.
Okay. Yeah. There's always a brighter day. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
I do want to just very quickly, before we move on from this game, because I don't really care to talk about it too much. I think it's a bad matchup for the Heat. They outsize us in like every single position, and that's not good. We were missing Jaime, who I'm not going to say we would have won this game with him, as I was saying for the last game, because we just got obliterated in this one. I think that they need to stop playing Bam through his injury and just rest him already, because the shot's clearly just not falling for him right now, and he's clearly playing through a back injury. Let him rest. What are we doing here? Why are we forcing it? That's my main takeaways from this. And then also there was just one moment where Julius Randle hit this three from almost half court with the shot clock winding down. It was a grenade. And when that went in, I think that like put up the lead to 10, maybe a little bit more than that. When that went in, I knew the game was over. That's where I mentally was done. And that's where we will be done now too. I'm okay. We don't need to talk about the Wolves anymore. Shout out to them. They're a good team. Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards.
Shouts out.
Yeah. What we do have coming up are some hopefully free wins. If we do lose more than one of these games, the sadness may continue. It won't last forever, like Hansel Pupo today just said.
It will never last forever.
But it could continue. The Heat are playing the Bulls, the Pacers, and then this is the really spicy part. On a back-to-back, we play Oklahoma City. We'll take this game by game. First thing, quickly, we're going to be playing the Bulls. Just to recap where the Bulls are at. The last time the Heat played the Bulls was quite a while ago. It was the beginning of the season. At that time, we were talking about how fun it is that the Bulls are actually kind of good. They look like a fun team. They were 8-6. Since then, they're not good. They're 17-20. They had the 15th ranked offense. Now it's the 22nd ranked offense. They had the 19th ranked defense. Now it's the 20th ranked defense. That hasn't changed too much. And when we did beat them that game, we beat them 143-107. That was a game. Do you have any thoughts on the Bulls overall before we jump into some of the specifics here?
Not really. I think should be a dub. Should be a dub. Should be a dub.
Should be.
Uh, but yeah, that's pretty
Even
much it.
even with the injury to Bam, even with Jaime out, I don't care. This isn't a good
Yeah,
team.
I think
They
this
are,
is less percentage wise. I think Pacers is a lock in dub. I think they suck. But with the Bulls, we'll see. I think it should be a dub though.
I will also say that the Bulls are missing Josh Giddey. They're missing Collins. They're missing Jaylen Smith. And Kobe White is currently day to day, so not sure if he will play. But at the very least, that's three somewhat important guys, and Kobe White possibly also out for the Bulls. So they're not doing great. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now. They lost to Detroit, Boston, and Charlotte. And tonight, that they will be playing the Heat, today's January 8th, they will be on the second night of a back-to-back. So we're
Yeah,
catching
should be a
them on a
dub.
back-to-back.
Yeah.
So this is like almost no excuse. It should be a dub. Jaime is still out for the Heat. Bam is still playing through injury, right? But that's not an excuse. The Bulls are terrible at protecting the rim. They're the worst team at defending the rim. They allow teams to get there at will. So it should be, I mean, when you look at the last game we played where we scored, again, just to reiterate, 143 points
This
to
is 12 points.
107. Part of the reason I also want to say that their score got ran up, this was in the NBA Cup group play where point differential matters. So they played till the end and we kept scoring. But in this game, Ware had 20 points, and that was with no threes made. This was all just at the rim. He was unstoppable at the rim, rightfully so, against this team with 4 offensive rebounds. Powell had 19, Davion had 16, Pella had 16, Kashad Johnson had 14, Jaime Jaquez had 10, Drew Smith had 12, Bam had 18.
And that ball around.
Yeah, 8 people in double figures. I don't see why there would be any difference here in terms of our ability to score on them. Their defense is not good at all. They're missing Jaylen Smith, who had 14 points for them in that game. They're missing Josh Giddey, who is like the hub of their offense, who
Mhm.
the Bulls GM compared to Tyrese Haliburton. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a.
Um,
I can see. I can see. I don't think he's.
I can see the vision.
I can see the vision. That's the best way you could
I
possibly
have
put it.
bad eyes. So when I take off my glasses, if I'm just looking at it, I'm like,
Two funky players play unconventional basketball, but they're
pass
not.
first.
Yeah, they're pass first. They're just funky with it. I mean, I think obviously. Oh no, I know.
Haliburton.
Hattie has but way better stats, but I could see the vision. I could see it. Like if you have like really bad vision and you're like,
Yeah, you squint. Yeah, I can see it. And to their credit, Giddey is still young. He's a young player. He's good. I actually am a somewhat believer in him, but
I'm a believer. Yeah, I'm a
maybe too
believer.
soon to go there. But you got to tell yourself that, right?
Yeah,
If you're
he's like in those tiers of players. Like you're not great, but you're not bad, and I could probably want you on my team if the situation presents itself. If you know, catch my drift there. Like
Yeah, they
it's
they
like
they 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 got him for somewhat cheap. I mean, they traded Caruso for him, which has been
yeah,
important for the Thunder, but they weren't in need of a Caruso. They're in
hmm
need of a hopefully young star to build around, and they're
yeah.
they're working towards it. Buzelis hasn't been great in a little while, but he's a fun young player. Giddey's been fun. Ayo Dosunmu's been fun. They've got some stuff. They've got some stuff, but in this game they won't have Giddey, and that's going to be tough scenes for them. I'm not worried about this. There's also some rumors, which is why I think that Kobe White might remain day to day and not play, that they're looking to shop him. I don't know what they're shopping him for or what the trade market is for a Kobe White, but
Um, he's not their starting point guard. He's part of their sixth man. I don't know. I would like Kobe White, not the Heat, but like I think if
yeah,
any
no, I don't
GM
think
would
he's bad. But what are they looking to do is what I'm wondering. Like, are they
probably
trying to
a second,
like just a pick? Yeah, like hopefully just
match a contract, send it out there. A sec or maybe a second, maybe a third, maybe I don't know.
yeah. There's apparently rumors the Mavericks might be pursuing them. It looks like they might just try to jump into a trade that, like, if there's a 3-team trade that's required,
hmm
they could jump in there and try to see if they can get involved, maybe to the Clippers. Yeah, just curious what their goal is really with this team. I mean, we'll talk about the Heat too, but this is an even worse case of a team that's just
Yeah,
been
that they're stuck in purgatory right now.
they've been there for a very long time.
hmm Well, I'm not sure
Uh,
if you saw the podcast. I don't know who it was with. I saw clips of it as per usual. 29-year-olds do nowadays. It was DeMar talking about when they first the three of them linked up. It was what's his idiot's name? Zach.
Yeah.
Zach. It was Zach, DeMar, and Zoe, and they started off the season really well before this guy got his injury, before Alonso got his injury, and he
They
said
were
that.
playing. That was a fun year for them. That was actually a fun year.
And yeah, I just kind of want to highlight just like how good Lonzo was at one point and how much of
There's
a
a reason
glue
he was
guy
top
he
three in
is.
that draft, in the
Yeah.
Markel Fultz, Jason Tatum draft.
Uh, he's just such a good player. He's such a great player, man. Like
I really do.
crazy.
I feel for him so much. Yeah, he had a lot of hope for himself. The shot was never great, but the passing, the size, the defense, and he was like the facilitator for that offense
Hmm.
that was making it work. And they were that I do remember that season. They were kind of fun, and
Yeah.
then his knees exploded. So I'll give them some stuff there that they've been a little unlucky, more than a little unlucky. I mean, even if you go further back, like they had Derrick Rose, right? And then his knees exploded.
Hmm.
So they've had moments where they're starting to think, can this be a good team? Can this be a fun team? And then knees explode in Chicago. That's just
Yeah.
what happens there, apparently. So, yeah, I'll give them some kudos there, as that sucks. I can imagine, and I feel as a Bulls fan, you must be just craving someone or something to root for at this point in time. And at the very least, it looks like they're leaning young right now. And hopefully they continue to lean young.
Yeah. It just sucks because like that's if you take off the band, they're like, yeah. I mean, who's your best player? Josh Giddey? No. What's your center called? This white boy. What's his
Vucevic,
name? Yeah, Vu or Josh Giddey's probably your best player, right?
I'm like, that's tough.
Their only sell at the moment, and not at the moment. I think it's been their biggest sell is like where the Chicago Bulls.
I will say on the bright side for them, which also, how far does that go, right? Like, it's hasn't meant anything in a long time.
Yeah, but it's still Chicago though. Like if
Yeah.
LeBron almost considered going to Chicago, and let's
No,
be
it
real,
still
like
is.
it's
The
Chicago. It's like, bro,
the
the best
branding
player.
is,
Yeah,
and
it's just
if you see a Chicago, like you could still wear a Chicago Bulls jersey, Chicago Bulls hat, and it goes hard. It's
yeah, that you recognize it anywhere you go. It doesn't have to be Jordan in the back. Most of the times it is, or D Rose, something like that. But it's
yeah,
just Chicago. It's like,
it's dope. They have a cool vibe. All it takes
mhm.
is one fun star to get there, and then everyone's gonna be all over Chicago again.
Yeah. So that's I guess that was what I was trying to get to. Like that's their biggest sale, and maybe someone goes over there like be like, oh shit, like I don't know, Paulo for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I don't. Yeah, you don't know in this
He's like, bro,
league,
I
and
want to go to Chicago and win him a chip because my favorite player played here, and like that's their factor. And then Paulo goes, just to give you an example, for someone, and someone's like, yo, they're building something dope over there. I'm a cash out over there too.
yeah, to their credit, to their, on the bright side, they have their own pick this year. They have their own pick in 2027 and 2028. They have their pick for the future, 2029, 2030,
Yeah,
2031. So they have all their picks. They're they technically could either just continue to chill and draft in the mid-teens, unless they get a little unlucky or lucky, depending on how you look at it, and draft a little higher than that if they actually
hmm,
they continue to miss the playoffs. Or they could package that up and try to get a star who's
yeah.
not feeling good about themselves on whatever team they're on. So
Hey, I mean, the guy we're gonna talk about today, little
yeah,
dude from Atlanta that now plays in the Wizards. So
we
we'll
yeah
we'll,
we'll
we'll,
we'll,
we'll see.
we'll get to him. We'll get
Um,
to him.
I don't know if you've been watching college basketball. I have not. I have seen like clips as per usual. 29-year-old does at this point.
Yeah,
I don't.
I have not been watching, but yeah, I know a few names just
Yeah, I
because
know a
of
few
yeah
names, but man, I mean, it's a weird class. I think it's a lot of role players, a lot of second, third option dudes that don't highlight to me as like a number one, like the Wembys or the Cooper Flags. Even though I said Cooper Flag was gonna be one of the best two, a second best option in the NBA, if not the best at one point of his career. Maybe he could become one of the first, like a
yeah
superstar. Period.
he might be able
Yeah,
to.
maybe because he has exceeded my expectations. Like the dude's good.
There's a lot of people who are pretty high in the top 3, 4 of this draft.
Yeah.
I don't watch enough to know.
Yeah, I can't give you
I
like Carlos Boozer's son. I think is really good, but
Yeah,
I don't know anything. I really don't.
Darren
I haven't been
Peterson,
watching.
DeBonsa. I think those are the
Hmm.
3 right now who are at the top, and I think there's a Peters. Yeah, Peterson. But I usually get into more of that as the season starts coming to a close.
Yeah.
March Madness, I'll pay attention a little bit just because it's fun. But Yeah, who knows, dude? And again, also the draft isn't a set science. Maybe you get a guy at the sixth pick, the seventh pick, who ends up being franchise changing. It
Yeah.
happens. Nonetheless, I'm excited for this game just because I hope it'll help us Heat fans wash the stink off our mouth of the Wolves game, plural.
Mhm.
And this is going to be a high paced game, just like the last one was. They're one of the fastest paces in the league. We're one of the fast paces in the league, and they don't play defense. So hopefully that means a lot of scoring and a lot of just highlight moments for us to start feeling good about ourselves again. That's my hope. Um, and then moving on to the next game on the docket, that will be the Pacers that the Heat play on Saturday, I believe. Let me just double check that on the schedule. Yes, on
The
Saturday
Pacers are the
night.
fourth or third worst team in the NBA, right?
Yeah, they are currently 6-31. That is it's
Second,
weird
third.
because not every team has played the most amount of games, but they
Yeah.
have a lot of losses. Yeah, they have tied for the most losses in the league
Okay, so I think we could safely
and the
assume that.
least wins in the league. They're the worst team in the NBA, actually. They are
Okay,
currently
yeah,
the
they
worst team.
suck. I think this is easy dub. I don't think we need to talk about this further, to be honest. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
shouts
can make
out
it
to
worse. I can make
shouts
it
out
worse.
shouts out to what's this guy's name?
Pascal,
Oh yeah, Pascal and their second point guard after
oh, Nemhart.
Nimhart.
Yeah,
Good player.
no,
Chill
like
player.
them. Yeah,
Spicy P. I've always been a fan of him in Toronto.
love him, love him.
But
Uh,
that's
Yeah, so just to quickly, so we played them about a week ago, 10 days ago or so. On December 27th, the Heat blew them out 142 to 116. Just to mention, this is one of those wins that we had without Bam that Heat fans are talking about. You see, we win games without Bam. It's like beat the you beat the
yeah,
Pacers.
he'd be the Pacers like,
Yeah, I wouldn't like
all
it's not
right.
something to really brag about. Just to really dig the hole of the Pacers are in, and I just feel bad for them. Uh in that game that we beat them 142 to 116. That's a bad loss. They were without Obi Toppin. They've obviously been without Haliburton. Now they're also without Benedict Mathurin and Isaiah Jackson. So more injuries to the list. And Benedict Mathurin was pretty good for them in that game. In that game, that was the Jaime and Wiggins game where they both had like 28 points each and they were just freaking cooking. We I don't know if we'll have Jaime. I'm assuming we won't. Probably not. I think we'll get him back on the next home stretch. Um, Norm was cold in this game. He had a lot of good looks, but they just weren't falling for him. That, that happens. You can't be too mad about that. I'm assuming that won't be the case again. Davion was extremely cold in this game. He was 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. Uh, Still a +8 because the Pacers suck.
Mm,
So I'm not expecting him to be that cold. And there really wasn't anything that unreasonable. Like, sure, Jaime shot really well, but all of his shots mostly come at the rim, and he was getting there at will. Andrew Wiggins was shooting great, but at the rim, so was Pella. Uh, yeah, I'm expecting another great win for the Heat, especially considering the injuries that they're dealing with. The Pacers, when we did beat them, uh, they haven't won a game since then. They've lost against Houston, Orlando, Sacramento, Orlando, and Cleveland. And even before that, the Pacers have not won a game since December 8th. They are on a team high, team record 13 game losing streak. It's just sad scenes for the Pacers.
yeah.
They are playing the Hornets tonight, so maybe they snap the losing streak. The Hornets have been playing a little better though, I don't. I think they might lose another one. I don't. I If you're telling me to pick the Pacers over anybody, if they're still injured, if they're not healthy, like, yeah,
No.
I don't. I can't
Yeah.
really pick that confidently. It's the NBA. Anything can happen. We saw the Hornets blow out OKC the other night, but I'm not gonna bet that the Pacers win anything. And we will have Tyler in this game, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he will continue to come off the bench or not. There's just some weird stuff going around with the Heat. Uh, would love if we decided to rest Bam again against this team and not play him. Because they're not a good team. And
Mhm.
I if we can't beat them without Bam, that's on us.
Yeah.
That's on us.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like I don't want to force him to continue to play through injury, or maybe just chill with his minutes. That's my hope. We'll move on from the Pacers again because they're miserable. I can't imagine what it's like to be in their locker room right now after you make it to Game 7 of the
To
finals.
game seven to the that's insane, dude. And just to be like, damn, we suck now.
Yeah. And it's really like, I mean, it's a season from hell in terms of the amount of injuries they've continued to have. In terms of they let Turner go,
Yeah,
obviously they lost Haliburton.
and you shopped your second best player.
Yeah, so like it's a season from hell. They have their own pick though. Maybe they'll get a top three guy, and they'll be really really good
Which
next
is,
season.
yeah, it's not bad. I mean, compared
It's
to the
m-
Warriors when they got Wiseman, Wiseman ended up sucking
yeah.
but
Mentally, it's a shitty place to be, but realistically, like they should be able to bounce back great next season if Halliburton comes back feeling like himself. If that one of these top three guys is actually really good,
do you think Hallie is that good?
I love him. I was unsure of him,
I'm still
but
very unsure of him.
that he is just so unique in how he plays basketball. He's one of the most unorthodox
Right, but
looking players.
we've seen this with LaMelo. Granted, LaMelo never. Fuck yeah, that's true.
The thing is, like there's
He kind of
aside
carried.
from
He kind of
yeah, like
carried a lot of bumps.
aside from the track record, like not being super long,
Yeah,
there's like you can't discredit anything they did last season. They
yeah, you
they made
can't.
it to the NBA Finals and made it to Game 7, and he was cooking before
Yeah,
getting injured. So
yeah.
like
Series through series, that guy was just popping off,
he
popping
made
off,
game
popping off.
winners in New York.
Yeah, I
Like
forgot about that. Yeah.
I, like and he's a showman, so I already just want to root for him, like I love that he
Oh,
like
that's right. They started. Sorry for the word. They started bitching at his dad
no
because
you're
he
good.
started doing the.
Yeah, his dad got in Giannis's face
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
which
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Halliburton in everything in the terms of how he plays. He's unselfish, he passes the ball, he seems like someone stars would enjoy playing with because of how fun he is. Like he does not care, he'll shoot it if he can, but he wants to get the ball moving. um but also that he buys into the like WWE
Hmm.
wrestling of the NBA. I mean, he
Yeah.
does love
He's a
wrestling
whole.
too.
Yeah. He's a whole personaje. Like he's like a whole. He's like a whole person. Like you just. He's a
Yeah,
cool dude. Cool dude.
to do the choke sign in New York with
Dude,
Reggie on the call, like
that's cool.
that's super
And
cool.
and being in the Pacers, that's cool. He's a cool
Yeah,
dude. He's a cool dude.
it's cool.
I wouldn't
And
say I don't know where he's at in my personal list, but
I
cool
don't I
dude.
don't know either. I don't know either. And also on top of that, character wise, after his dad did that, a lot of guys wouldn't have said anything. He called his dad out publicly in the post game interview saying, "Yeah, I need to talk to Pops. That's not
Oh
cool."
yeah, true, true,
So
true.
just like classy dude, man. Just a classy dude that, likes to talk his shit. He's done the Dame time at Dame.
Yeah, people. There's like a good crowd that don't like him though. Like he's like this guy is so weird. He talks funny.
He does have a funny
He
voice.
he switches his voice. Like look at his interview from 2 years ago. He's talking like mad like
He can't control it though.
yeah like mad machista and or machismo with more machismo. And now he's talking like a nerd. This guy's whack. He's doing the choke sign, and I'm like I don't know.
No, I love it.
Pretty cool to me.
I think he's one of the most fun players to watch in basketball. I'm really really sad that he was injured because like,
If he would have won that, that would have
oh
been a
man,
story to tell. That would have been a
it
story to tell.
it's already one of the most fun playoff runs ever. But if
Yeah.
they would have won, I mean, that's like legendary. To
Hmm.
to be counted out, they were before the new year of that season, like December 31st of that season, they were negative. They were an under 500 team. To do that and go to being in the finals,
Insane.
and like you can't discredit anything they did. You can't. They beat the Cavs and they beat the Knicks. Like the only
Insane.
team they didn't beat in the East was the Celtics because the Celtics got beat against the Knicks. But
Yeah.
they didn't get an easy road there, and then they took OKC to 7. So yeah, I love it. I'm sad that he's not able to play this season to kind of pick up where he left off, and I really do hope that he's still himself after that injury because it would suck if like,
Achilles, yeah.
I mean, it's gotten better.
Yeah,
Like
with modern day science, like I mean everyone football, basketball, everyone said it's like I would have been out for like 2 years. These people are coming back in 6 months.
yeah,
How? And
it's
they're coming back good. They look good. KD's look good. A lot of people are coming back good.
I'm like Katie's 37 still putting up numbers, so
It's not like freaking well I know Kobe old rest in
yeah.
peace.
But I wasn't even that old. If you think about it, that was like what, the teens?
Yeah, but
That's
like
like
with
12 years ago, 13 years ago. Like,
modern day science, dude, it's insane. Like back then, like an Achilles would be like you're gonna be
no,
slower or what happened to Clay? No, Clay was his knee, and Clay
Clay
never came back good.
Clay was both,
Um,
wasn't it? Wasn't it the knee and the Achilles?
No, I'm not sure. No, no, it was KD's Achilles, and then Clay's
No, no, it was
knee. Oh, it was
Clay
both
had
of them.
both. Clay had the ACL
Oh
and the
no,
Achilles.
no, that's right. In off-season training, he ruptures one or the other. Oh,
Yeah.
I think first it was his knee. In
During a pickup game, he tore his Achilles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that sucks. But but
That's
but he got two of the worst possible injuries in NBA in basketball period.
and he's still playing basketball. I mean, he's older
He
now, so he's
he's
not playing like
older,
he
but
was,
he never came back. He never came back, and it happened. He was a little bit older.
but
Yeah,
he's still playing basketball.
he's still playing basketball, and Hallie's young, so that's the good thing about him.
That's the hope. I hope for the Pacers fans. I hope for the league in general that Hali is healthy and is fun and is kicking ass in the East next season.
Hmm.
That'll be cool for them. I'm scared of him. I don't want to play against the Pacers with Hali, but I like him as a fan. So
Yeah.
that's my hope. And then the team that the Pacers lost to in the finals, OKC. We will be playing them. The Heat will be playing them on Sunday. This will be the second night of a back-to-back for the Heat. Uh, so I mean, the Heat are obviously expecting to beat the Pacers on Saturday, and then Sunday at Oklahoma. Um, while Oklahoma has been slumping as of recent, I would just want to start this conversation off with saying that playing Oklahoma City on a second night of a back-to-back is a recipe for disaster. Uh, I do want to mention this Reddit post that is very insightful by the username Maximum Summer 186. The OKC Thunder are 24-1 before the Earth passed through the debris trail of the mysterious asteroid 3200 Phaethon, but they're 6-6 afterwards. So, is it in the cosmic alliance of the universe for the Thunder to maybe crash land ever since we passed through asteroid 3200 Phaethon? They're just not the same team.
Interesting.
Yeah. So since that, they've won one more game. They are now 7-6 since passing through the asteroid 3200 Phaethon. And they have another game before they play us against the Grizzlies, so maybe they'll be 8-6. Maybe the asteroid means nothing to them. But personally, I don't think the Thunder stand a chance against an asteroid.
No. Mm-mm.
No.
What are you taking? OKC or an asteroid?
Every time an asteroid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
Take
time an asteroid.
a billion lines or the sun?
The Lions. Well,
The
no,
Lions.
a trillion lines I'll
A
take.
trillion lines or the sun?
A trillion.
A
Easy.
trillion lines, obviously.
That's easy. But
Yeah.
but the Thunder, unless it's a billion Thunders, if it's just the OKC Thunder, it's not enough to take an asteroid.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
Mm-mm.
But in all seriousness, in this streak, they've had some bad losses. They've lost against the Hornets. They got blown out by the Hornets. They lost against the Suns in a close game. They had those 3 losses against the Spurs. That's 3 of their losses is against the Spurs. And they had a close game.
That's right. Like in 2-3 weeks, or it was
In like 2
or
weeks.
9 days or something like that. They lost 3 games to.
Yeah, it was pretty short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then they had one close loss against the Wolves. They beat the Jazz in OT the other night, and they also had a 4-game win streak in here against the Sixers, Hawks, Blazers, and Warriors. They also beat the Grizzlies and the Clips in this little, 7-6 streak that they're on. Also, just to look at since that date, so since the asteroid Phaethon in December 13th,
Shouts out.
yeah, shout out to that asteroid. They have the 18th best offense and the 4th best defense in the league since that day. They have had the injury bug to some extent. They've had injuries to Caruso, Hardenstein, AJ Mitchell, Dort, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Jaylen Williams, Chet Holmgren, even J-Dub, who missed the beginning of the season. He doesn't look himself yet. And I say all that to say people are getting ready to hop on the other extreme. Like we were ready to crown them the 80-win team, the best team ever.
No, I never jumped on that.
People were too ready to jump that, and now people are like, are they even good? That's just they're still the team we thought they were. They've had some injuries. J-Dub, there's no reason to not expect that he will be back to himself at some point. He's just not there yet.
There's a reason why people don't care about the regular season.
People, not just Heat fans, every fan of every team, every fan of the league, we're just so hot and cold because the season is so long and our brains don't work in ways where we're like, oh, that's just a 10-game stretch or that's just a 12-game stretch. It's like, nah, the Thunder suck now.
Brother.
They're
No, that's not how life works.
No, that shit happens. A
You're
guy
playing
misses some
you're
games.
playing a sport, brother. It
Yeah,
could be your night. It could be not your night. Some people is their nights. A lot of nights. Those are the good players. Some people are streaky. Sometimes you get injured. Sometimes you're good. Sometimes you're bad. Hey, brother, it happens.
sometimes you get blown out by the Hornets. Sometimes they just don't miss a shot and everything falls.
The only way OKC I don't see them not winning or let's say a threat or most likely is asteroid.
Yeah, that's
That's the only like
if
asteroid.
if that asteroid Phaethon loops back around
Yeah,
and comes to finish the job,
yeah, exactly. That's I'm like
then
okay, maybe they're
maybe they won't make it to the finals if that happens.
yeah, exactly. Like that's the only way. I'd be like, nah, yeah, you guys are
If
done.
Shai survives, they might still make it to the finals.
Damn, I don't know if I brought this up from the last podcast,
Yeah, you did.
but that soccer club, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Like, if OKC magically disappears, I'm not gonna. I don't wish bad upon them. But if they
Yeah.
magically disappear because of an asteroid in the city of Oklahoma or whatever, wherever they're located at this
Oklahoma
point,
City, yeah.
Oklahoma City. Unless that happens, then I'd be like, you guys are done for.
Yeah.
Besides that,
But
brother, like,
But even then, if Shai survives and they have an emergency draft and they just get a bunch of guys,
yeah,
I still think Shai and a bunch of guys might make it to the West Finals with Shai and a bunch of guys.
mm-hmm.
I will say the one scary thing for them would be, and it doesn't seem to be the case, the Nuggets aren't playing as bad as people thought they might with Jokic being injured, was if the Nuggets slipped and are like the 8th seed, like, damn, that would suck if you're the Thunder and you're the 1st seed, you've been playing so hard and you have to play the Nuggets in the first round. That would be the only scenario where I'm like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I still think the Thunder are favored in that matchup, but it would be no surprise to anyone if the Denver Nuggets with a
Either
healthy
or,
Nikola
yeah.
Jokic could beat them. That's not, crazy to say. The few other things I did want to mention before going into some of the nitty-gritty stuff, and to what we're talking about, like getting hot and cold, what really is important is consistency, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is like the definition of consistency. He is still on Wilt watch. We've talked about this before on the pod. It's been some episodes, but he is 15 games away from tying Wilt's record of a 20 points per game streak, 20 points in every game they've played. He is currently at 109 games. The record is 126 games, but just put that in perspective. 109 straight regular season games where he has scored at least 20.
That's insane.
That's insane. Not an 18, not a 19 in there. Not a day where you're just like, nothing's fallen. 109 games. He might break Wilt's record. Win or lose, that guy goes out there and gets you 30. It's crazy work, man.
Hey,
I hope he breaks it.
The future is now.
The future is now.
I'm over these old guys, dude. Legends.
We have a
I
lot of
guess.
fun young players, man.
Hey, the future is now. And I don't even like these young cats, but the future is now, old man. Let's get it going.
There was I forgot what podcast I was listening to. It might have been Bill Simmons. It was a Ringer pod. But someone said to them, it was like a off comment from someone, that it's interesting that, this might have been on the Hoop Collective. Regardless, it was a student of one of theirs. That's how I know it wasn't Bill Simmons. We overrate older players because players are more famous when they're older, obviously. So like we underrate the younger players. So no one's ready to say SGA is the best player. Look how long it's taken for us to say Jokic is even the best. Like that's become the consensus like the past 2 years maybe. But for a while it's like, should Jokic win 3 MVPs? Is he really that good? And it's like, yeah, no.
LeBron's been doing it. Brother, Jesus Christ.
Look, and it's not disrespect to the older guys. It's true. Like we fall in love with these guys. We hate on them in the middle of their career. They overcome it, and then we love them again.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're in the hate phase with all these good young players. Everyone's like, well, SGA flops, and Tyrese Haliburton is lanky.
If I was in the NBA and I was as good as Shai, so we getting these amount of calls, and I'm like, brother.
Yeah. Jokic is fat and he can't move on defense. And it's like, sure, I guess, dude. But like, you can nitpick anybody, man. You can nitpick anybody.
Dwayne Wade used to put those numbers up too, but no one talks about him. Like they talk about Shai nowadays. It's like, well, brother, because you don't watch basketball. Like,
yeah, like why am I gonna why would I keep talking about Dwayne Wade? He doesn't play anymore.
He doesn't play anymore. We gotta talk about these kids now. Like these kids are good. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit it. I don't like Shai. I not that I don't like him.
It's not your favorite type of player. Yeah.
No, it's not. I lean more towards Anthony Edwards. Recently, God dang, I hate it because he plays for the Knicks. Brunson is one of my favorite players at the moment too. Like those are the people I lean towards. I don't like Shai's play style, but
That's
that
fine.
guy's a
Yeah.
baller. He's a
Yeah.
baller. And to say he's not a baller, then
You're not watching. You're not
you're
watching.
just not watching.
You don't have 109 games in a row of 20 points without being really good at basketball. I'm sorry to tell you that.
No, but he gets a lot of calls on him.
Yeah. Which
All right, bro.
also, one good thing, maybe, for the Heat and in general, Shai's whistle hasn't been as good lately. He's not averaging that many free throws. I think in the month of December, he was getting like 6 free throws a game, which is not a lot at all.
Mm-hmm.
He was averaging closer to 10 before that. So I don't know if that's just a random spurt that's happening or if there's a little bit of a change in how they're officiating his whistle. But nonetheless, he's still getting 20, 30 points a game, even with the whistle missing. So not a big deal for them. Just some quick stuff. The OKC Thunder, as far as their offense goes, they like to shoot a lot of middies. Part of that is because the majority of their offense is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then in terms of how good they shoot from everywhere, they shoot great from everywhere, besides the corner. That's ironically one of the places they're not good at shooting from. They don't go for offensive rebounds because they like to run back on D, and boy, do they run back on D. I have a funny defensive stat. I almost couldn't believe it. I was looking at specific defense in transition, right? How many points per possession the OKC Thunder allow. Uh, so they have the best transition. They have the best defense in the league. They have the best transition defense in the league. And more specifically, not just off steals, they have the best transition defense in the league off of rebounds. They allow negative 0.7 points off of transition plays that come off a rebound. So to
Yeah,
put that in perspective,
but
that
didn't
means
you just say that they don't go for rebounds, so it just means that their whole
no,
team
no,
goes
no.
back.
Yeah, exactly. So when they don't go for offensive rebounds, so
Yeah.
after the Heat rebound the ball, or after a team rebounds the ball, and they get a fast break, they get a transition play, those teams average minus 0.7 points per possession. So you are more likely in transition to turn over the ball than you are to score.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's so the second highest. I needed to look. The second best team guarding in transition off of rebounds is the Toronto Raptors. They allow 0.0. So 0. You're just not likely to score. That's really good, obviously.
Yeah,
but
great.
to have a defense that allows negative points where you're more likely to not just not score, but you're more likely to probably turn over the ball. Like that is like
in the back of your mind, it's like, damn, let me get this board real quick. Damn, I don't think I'm gonna score right now.
No, you get the board. You're like, let's push the pace. Don't even try. Don't even try to push the pace because then you're just gonna turn it over. They're gonna get a steal somehow.
That's insane. That's crazy.
That's the defense is. Yeah, so I saw that number and I thought it was fake because there's like, how is the defense so good that it allows negative points? But
negative points.
That's the
negative. That's
negative.
Crazy. Negative is a crazy word. Yeah. Negative.
Their
that
defense
means you are not likely to do this.
Your team would be better if you just didn't rebound the ball, I guess. Like I don't.
Out of all the possibilities, you are not likely to do this.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's so for that reason, and the Heat loving to get out in the fast break to get out in transition, I don't feel good about our chances against this team because they are the best team at forcing turnovers in the league, and they don't turn the ball over ever. So
that's insane. Wow, holy shit! I just thought about that. Like every single possible scenario in the timeline or in the multiverse. You grab the rebound,
you push the pace. The moment you decided to push the pace,
you're not gonna score.
You just lost 0.7 points. The moment you pass the ball, you're like, actually, we just lost a point somehow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. For as bad as they've been in that stretch, yeah, their net rating is still a +5. They're better than every team by 5 points per 100 possessions, pretty much. The net rating on the season is the best in the league. They're a +13. They, per 100 possessions, are 13 points better than every team. The issue right now is just solely they've had some injuries, and the whole offense has been relying on Shai carrying them home. And some nights he does because he's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Some nights it's not enough, and that's been the issue. But I don't foresee that being a long issue for them. The one somewhat bright spot is, it's not even a bright spot. They allow a lot of long mid-rangers against them, and we shoot well from long mid. The Heat do. So that's like the one bright spot in terms of matchup stuff. But on a second night of a back-to-back, if we win this game, boy, am I going to go crazy on the podcast. I don't care.
I'm not expecting a W, but hey, that's how if we do get it. And if we don't, brother,
No, beat the Bulls, beat the Pacers,
Yeah,
lose
that's
against
fine.
Thunder. That's cool. Me, we're okay.
2 out of 3 is
Um,
fine.
we'll just move into some general talking points. First off, starting with the Heat, and we talked about some of these things pre-pod, so it's not none of this is going to be new to you. Um, Heat fans, somewhat rightfully so, are frustrated right now because it feels like this team isn't picking a direction. Are we trying to win now? Are we trying to go young? Um, we never really decide to take a step back. That's not like in our ethos. Barry Jackson, who covers Miami sports and covers the Heat, he's asked this to the Heat organization, and they fundamentally disagree with the approach of taking a significant step back and hoping for brighter days ahead. The goal is to squeeze out as many wins as humanly possible every year and field a competitive team and try to acquire an in his prime star or opportunities that arise, like Powell. And we talked about this, I understand why that's frustrating because it is. Because, like, why would I want to be a. The NBA is one of those leagues where you don't want to be good. You want to be great or you want to be bad.
Yes,
And right now we're good,
yes, yeah,
which is tough. Especially, and I will say to our credit, discredit, if we were in the West, we probably would be out of the playoffs. We probably would be the 10th or 11th seed. It just, the East is so bad that there's no way we're bad enough to not make the
playing
playoffs.
playing team in the West.
Yeah, playing team. But right now in the East, it's like, no, we're a playoff team because that's where we're at currently with the
Yeah,
East. And again, while that is frustrating, I did look at it a little bit and we talked about this. It's kind of worked. While people can point to that the only championships we've ever won came off of the back of us drafting in the top 3 and getting Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade changing our franchise forever, clearly. Since then, though, we
and
have made.
supposedly cheating with referee calls, but whatever. We won't
Yeah,
talk about that.
screw you, Mark Cuban.
Hey, yeah, I still got the chip, so I don't care.
Yeah. Since then, though, we have made the finals twice, and we're a Jimmy 3-point shot away from making the finals the third time. Where in 2 of those finals, had we not been, well, in one of those finals, the bubble finals, had we not been injured, like, I have talked about this with you, I've talked about this a million times in my life. I'm not saying we for sure win it, but if Goran was actually playing, he only played 2 games. If Bam wasn't injured, Bam played 4 of those 6 games, and he had injured his shoulder when he had that beautiful Tatum block. If we had a fully healthy team, I think we would have maybe won that.
Yeah,
And so we were right there. We were literally right there, knocking on the door. And I think fans forget about this more and more because of the fact that this happened in the bubble and wasn't at home in
mm-hmm.
Miami. We don't have those memories of the crowd going crazy, like, because there was no crowd. And then since then, the Nuggets finals, I don't think we ever had a chance. I'll just be honest. The Nikola Jokic was just too good,
No.
and our team wasn't good
I
enough.
I do want to add this. I don't think the Lakers have fielded a good Lakers team since LeBron got there. That's one.
No, I agree. I think that year was their best one, probably.
And wow, that team was that's a bunch of old dudes and LeBron and AD.
No, they got Anthony Davis and LeBron put on their, like, they
Yeah,
went
they put on a
insane.
show. Yeah, they put on a show, but they've never fielded a good team. That
Yeah.
team, we could have easily beat them. Not easily beat them, but we could have beat them.
We could have beat them with a healthy Bam, with a healthy Goron. I don't see how we
Now,
don't win that.
now the Nuggets team,
No,
that's just like a very well put together team with arguably one of the best players we've ever seen in our lives.
it doesn't change that people also forget that Jimmy was injured in that Nugget series. He played,
Hmm.
but he had that. I mean, there was videos of him walking to the arena pregame, and his
Yeah,
ankle looked like a tennis ball was just swollen in there. So we didn't have like fully healthy playoff Jimmy. But the year that I also think we could have won was the year that we lost in 7 to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think had the Heat made the finals that year, that's a year that I think they would have been able to beat the Warriors. I think we were a better matchup than the Warriors. And again, this is all we did. At the end of the day, we didn't win, right? We didn't win any of
hmm,
those. But I'd rather make the finals than not make the finals. And my point in all this is after we lost the finals in 2014, the next season, we only win 37 games. That's the season I believe that Bosch had the blood clot, which, talk about unluck. You have this valuable asset who you're hoping to continue winning games for, and you lose them for literally nothing because you can't trade a guy who literally can't play basketball anymore, who was still good, who was still very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And then since then, we had a 48 win season, 41, 44, 39 win season. And then guess what? We were back in the finals. So we were in the finals. We lost the finals 2014. We were back in the finals in 2020. That's 6 years. That's only, I know it feels like forever. It feels like a lifetime, but most teams don't make the finals once in a decade, let alone we were back within 6 years after a dynasty, after a blood clot, after Dwayne Wade's knees gave up on him, after LeBron left for nothing. We should have been set back to infinity. And instead, we kept winning games. We kept being a middling team. And we talked about it. You said it yourself. It defies all logic. But
Yep.
we didn't take the tanking route, and we made it back to the finals before a lot of other teams who have been tanking have. The 76ers in that time frame tanked for Joel Embiid, tanked for Ben Simmons, tanked for Markelle Fultz. They haven't made the finals.
No, they suck. Granted, they were a crazy shot away of going to the finals.
No, shit happens. Shit
Yeah,
happens.
shit happens. That's
But like,
sports.
I'm not necessarily
That's
saying
life.
this just. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this just to denigrate the Sixers or anybody really. But my point being is that we did the opposite of what everybody says we should do, and we've made the finals more than all those teams. We just haven't won, and we were injured.
But history does not remember losers.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's true. But to that point, only one team wins the finals every year, man. You're not guaranteed to get that high pick and for that player to be good enough. You're not.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a top 3 pick and it could be Zachary Risachet. You can get a top 3 pick and it be Joel Embiid and he's injured for his whole career. You can get a top 3 pick and it's LaMelo Ball and his knees explode. Like, it's really easy to point at the success stories to be like, oh, well, look what Boston Celtics did with Jason Tatum. It's like, well, fucking shit. Like, yeah, Tatum's awesome. But look at the 2 picks before and after him, Markelle Fultz and Alonzo Ball.
Alonzo.
How do you not know we're not one of those? So
yeah, it's always hindsight Harry, but like it's like you said, bro. Like you could draft Zachary with rotisserie chicken, and or sometimes you could draft freaking Cooper Flag.
Yeah, and
no, it's not Cooper Flag. He was obviously a great player, but like I don't know. Tatum is the best example.
But and you don't even know any of these guys because the same thing is like those guys can be really good, but maybe they're just not good enough, and then you end up in the same spot where you have this awesome guy, but he's
still missing the piece.
You're still missing the piece, and then you waste 5 or 6 years in the same spot we're literally in right now. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand every ounce of my body wants to scream, let's just lose more this season so we can get a high pick because we have our draft pick this year and we don't the next 2 years. But also, we do have one of the best, like, you can't really, like, question our scouting. We've had very few misses in recent years. I know we've had some in the past, but recent years we've done pretty good with our picks in the teens.
So are we ready to say let's chalk it?
I mean, but we're not chalking anything. We're just going to keep playing basketball and we're going to keep being okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, that's just us as fans, are we ready to say let's chalk it, or because they're not going to chalk it. Let's be real here. Let's take off the blindfold, right? They're not going to chalk it.
No.
The Miami does not believe in that. Man, I feel like a broken record every single time I'm on the pod. But damn, dude, let's do something, man. Just do something, dude.
But you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna chill. We're gonna keep playing good basketball.
Oh yeah, of course.
And we're gonna wait.
And we're gonna be fringe playoff team, maybe.
And we're gonna wait for the right moment to hopefully get a star. And we can say it never happens, but last time it took 6 years, and then we got one, and then we were back in the finals twice. This time, we're.
All right, but look, check me out. Are you referring to Jimmy or are you referring to LeBron?
No, Jimmy. The LeBron one was with Dwayne Wade. But
yeah, that's what I was about to say. The reason LeBron came over here was the stars aligned for us.
No, yeah. That's why I'm not counting that because that
was a freak that's a freak accident,
and
that's
a result of us having Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, since we lost that, because you can whatever. Like since we lost LeBron and Bosh, what we decided to do is we field a good roster and win enough games, and then we draft good in the teens, continue to draft good in the teens, and we had a few misses during those years too. And then we got a star who was undervalued in Jimmy Butler, who was disgruntled, and then we went back to the finals. We are in, I think it's just hard, like, because we're spoiled, because we've made it to the finals so many times. We've 4 finals in the early 2010s, 2 more finals in an Eastern Conference Finals in like the late teens and early 20s. Like, we are spoiled as shit as Miami
Yeah.
Heat fans. We're in year one post Jimmy. This is year one post an NBA Finals team that is rebuilding. This is not the year.
No.
Next year is probably not the year. And everyone just has to be okay with that. And everyone who wants to put on their GM hat and say, I would do a better job, I would just tank it
No.
hard, you probably wouldn't. Because none of this is an exact science. And you're not even guaranteed the number one pick. Look at what the Wizards just did. They just tanked and they got the 5th or the 6th pick.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Like, you're not even guaranteed it.
And let me tell you another thing too is that people don't take it to account. Oh yeah, tank to get the best. That's not true. One, that's not true. Two, you guys know if you tank and you have like horrible players or mediocre players, people don't go to your arena and then you're selling tickets for $4.
And then you don't sell.
I think it was Minnesota versus someone, I forgot. Cheapest ticket was $4.
Yeah.
How are you gonna generate revenue?
Yeah, this is a business at the end of the day. No one wants to
Yeah, this is
intentionally.
yeah, exactly. It's not easy saying, oh, just tank it up. It's not, and then yeah, you have a bunch of, let's say, I like we spoke, we don't know this draft class that well. Shouts out to anyone who actually follows college basketball day in and day out. We don't know these people. They could be good, they could be bad, they could be fringe good players, they could be fringe bad players, they could just suck.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're gonna get, and it's tough. It's tough. That's why I mean we could debate this every single time on the pod, but it's tough, and that's why we're not GMs. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think Pat Riley's done an amazing job,
But at the
but
end of the day, like, again, like, and I agree. I don't think he's done like the best job, right? But the track record speaks for itself. Yeah, we haven't won a finals, but name me 10 teams that have had a better past 10 years than the Heat. And I don't think you can find 10.
no, of course not. I mean, the
Not,
chip has been won by a spread amount of like 5 teams. It's been
yeah, it's been like,
Cavs,
it's been a few, 7 different teams. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, look at who the finals winners the past years. Finals
It's
winners,
Golden State, Cavs, Boston,
Boston, Thunder,
Denver Thunder. That's 5.
the Bucks, the Lakers, the
Bucks,
Raptors.
Lakers, Raptors.
Yeah. Yes, if you go
Is
back
that
10 years, 2016, this is still the Cleveland Cavaliers and Golden State
era?
dynasty.
Yeah.
So you have from 2014 to 2018 is all Warriors and Cavs. We weren't beating those
Yes,
teams
it's like
anyways.
it's 17. That's
Yeah.
spread across
And
7
then the
teams.
Raptors, they took an all-in shot.
Freak
At
accident too. That
They
was
got
stars
Kawhi on a
aligned.
1-year rental. He did not even want to be there. He made it clear. I mean, and shout out to them. They did it, but like, just because they won one chip in these past 10 years, and I honestly, all the credit in the world to them. You won the
Yeah,
chip.
yeah.
That's all you get. If you win, you don't have to apologize to anybody. But I'm not going to say the Raptors are a better organization than the Miami Heat. They went all in on Kawhi and they fucking won.
Like you said, a win is a win. A dub is a dub. History remembers the winners, not losers. But that was a freak accident.
Yeah.
One of the best players we've ever seen of all time gets injured. Their third best player gets injured.
Yeah, like, it's
Dog, that is crazy.
the Philadelphia shot that bounced out.
The
I mean, it
Philly
bounced
shot.
in. Yeah,
Like, and that 76ers team, as much as I hate them,
they were great.
thumbs down to Philly sports teams, not Philly as a whole, but whatever.
Yeah.
That team was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That team was Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, probably his first healthy year.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, bro, that team.
Yeah. No,
Your insert random good players here. That was a good team, bro. That was genuinely a good team.
yeah.
Andrew
So,
Shamish, shouts out to him. I think that's another player that used to play for that team.
and then going on from there, the Lakers with LeBron and AD beat the Heat. Sure. And 4-2, again, we talked about this already. I think we could have won it not injured, but fine. They have LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Bucks drafted Giannis in the second round, late first round. What was Giannis' draft?
No, I think second or third round. Early. I think late second.
I'll tell you right now. No, he was late. He was early. He was late first. He was 15th.
Oh wow.
But nonetheless, 15th. They just happened to draft one of the best players to ever play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The Denver Nuggets in the second round draft Nikola Jokic. Happens to be one of the best players to ever play basketball. The Boston Celtics, who, mind you, this Tatum and Brown team has existed for a long time. They played against the Cavaliers with LeBron on that team. And despite all the trade rumors throughout the years of people saying, we need to trade Jaylen Brown, he doesn't fit with Jason Tatum. We need to trade Jason Tatum, he's not a dog enough, like whatever. They never did. And then years later, they won a chip. Oklahoma City Thunder, they had one of the most fortunate trades ever where they got an MVP caliber player who never knew was going to be an MVP caliber player and a ton of picks. Yeah, like, again, like you point to all these teams, that's a couple teams. I'm not like, who else are you really going to say like they've done a better job running the show than the Heat right now? Like, I don't know.
Not a lot.
You don't really know. You don't really know. So yeah, that's my point. I did want to say the one thing, and that's kind of the mindset here, and it's like I've accepted it. We talked about this. Our GM is a coach, and a coach's job is to focus on the present and try to win every game right now. And I think that's the issue that frustrates fans, that you look at a team like the Boston Celtics, where their GM, he did everything in his power to think about the future. He sold off the team, got under the luxury tax, knew this was going to be an off year with Jason Tatum out. But Joe Mazzulla, their coach, he's like, I'm going to win every game I can win. So they're still playing well. And that's cool. So we all applaud the Celtics because they did the right moves. But I can't necessarily be upset with what the Heat have done or how they've ran this team. Do I wish that our GM was a little bit more of a GM who maybe was more willing to like sell high on players occasionally? Sure. But
I think that's our biggest, that's my top two biggest
that
gripes.
We don't sell high enough.
Yeah, when the stocks are up, baby, you gotta sell. Bro, if there's one thing I've learned about life is that you can't fall in love with everything. Especially like, let's say in this situation, materialistic things that involve these players as materialistic. If they're high, sell high, dog.
Yeah, that's the only, and I also want to say too, while I agree, people make it seem like, oh, we should have traded Hero here and there, maybe, but maybe it's just my memory, but do you have any memories of any leak of like a reported trade offer for Hero that sounded cool?
No, never. First of all, yes, we've been shopping Hero for like 3 years, whatever.
I'm like,
okay, that's fine.
We've never
seen a good package. We're like, nah, we got to do that, bro, because that's like for sure that this is it.
The only time was when we wanted to trade him for Damian Lillard, and we offered it, but they didn't want to trade him.
No. Portland said no. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. The other big one that comes to mind is when Heat fans wanted to trade Tyler Hero for Bradley Beal. I think we were good not to make that trade.
Yeah, in hindsight, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I'm with you. Like, yeah, we should have traded Tyler Hero, but to who and for what? Because I don't remember the trade. I don't remember the trade.
We've never gotten a good package where I'm like, look, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but the Dame thing. I love Damian Lillard. At that point in time, Damian Lillard was still broken. Damian Lillard's always been broken. Would it move the needle? Yes, but
maybe. But either way, but we made the offer, so you can't really discredit.
Yeah, on top of that and everything, yeah, exactly. But the GM said no, fuck off.
Yeah, you can't discredit the Heat for doing, like, we tried our best. They literally fined Damian Lillard for saying he wanted to come to the Heat. They did not want him to come to the Heat. It's like, so that's all it is. And at the same time, I said a little bit about this on the pod last episode. Heat fans have this thing where they all, and it's probably just NBA fans, where they think they're smarter than not just our GM, but every GM. So at the same time, they're saying like, Bam sucks, we need to trade him. Also, if he does suck, he's going to be hard to trade. And if he doesn't suck, which I don't think he does, why are so many people wanting to trade for Bam? And in the opposite, it's like, Hero, man, like, he's not good enough. We should have traded him for all these things. It's like, other teams also know that he's not good enough. So they're not like, there's a few dumb teams in the league that people bully on, that pick on and will give you a dumb trade offer. There's not a lot of them, not anymore. So that's my thing. My only real complaint is I'd like to continue to play the young guys over the old guys. And we're starting to do that. We're taking for granted already that Ware has been starting the past few games and it's his second year in the league. So we're getting the Ware treatment. Cass is starting to get minutes. I don't necessarily love that we continue to play Drew Smith over Cass. This is not an insult to Drew Smith. Drew Smith has played pretty well for us. He's like almost leading the league in steals, I believe. But I'd rather just develop our young guy than play this 28-year-old for what? He's not the future of the Heat. That's my main thing. Just keep playing the young guys. Yeah. Last but not least, these are two other Heat-related things. The deadline to get rid of Rozier's contract passed. This would have, had we waived the contract, we would have paid him a certain amount of money, but it would have put us under the tax which would have been a financial move, solely a financial move, and allowed us to sign free agents had we done that. Us guaranteeing the contract pretty much ensures that the Heat are going to be trying to make a trade. There haven't been any reports on what trade the Heat are trying to make, but that's something to keep an eye on, that since we guaranteed that contract, it's very likely that the Heat will be looking to make some kind of trade in which we use that contract as filler to
Yeah.
get something else. So just to keep an eye on. And then super last but not least, and you could buy into this however much you want or as little as you want. This is on shotquality.com. They measure the shot quality of the shots that teams are making. So to put this in like the simplest way possible, because it is complicated, it's like if basketball was played on a spreadsheet, not in real life, based on your distance to your defender, based on where you shot it from the floor, based on how often you shoot from, like how well you shoot from that
Yeah.
spot, based on how the league shoots from that spot. They take all this into account. It's very intricate the way they use the data.
AKA nerd stats.
This is like as far as nerdy as you get when it comes to shot quality.
This is disgusting. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the one thing I will say before I like go to the extreme part of this. It's helpful to see sometimes that like, and you'll see it in the game, a guy will get an open shot and he misses it. And over time, if you're like, damn, like I feel like those were good shots we got, it's to point out that sometimes you can go through a cold stretch and it's not because your team sucks, it's because maybe you just aren't hitting shots you normally make, or maybe other teams are hitting shots they don't normally make. We notice it game to game. This is just looking at it season long. Season long, the Heat are the second unluckiest team when it comes to shot quality in terms of we've gotten good shots, they just haven't fallen. This is the part where it's crazy and where I'm like, I wouldn't go this far, but it's the data's the data. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there to put it out there. According to the shot quality record, and this is taking into account not just our shot quality, but the teams we played against and their shot quality, and teams making shots they don't normally make against us missing shots we normally would make against them. Our record, rather than being 39-49 to end the season, should be 51-37, apparently. They have us as a 51-win team, according to shot quality. So, look, we've been unlucky. That's all I can say. I don't want to go too much further. All I can say is that we've gotten some good shots. They're just not falling right now. Some of that, and I don't know how they equate into like a player like Bam who's playing through injury. Like, sure, he's getting good shot quality, but right now his back's not working, so he can't hit the shot. So I don't think you can account for that. But point being, we've been kind of unlucky. So just wanted to everybody just chill for a little bit. And we'll move on to a few around the league topics before we get out of here. Let me just take a sip of this sponsored water. We sponsor water on this podcast.
That's out.
Yeah, big water.
No free ads.
No free ads.
No free ads.
Fun things around the league. James Dolan. This is a quote from the owner of the New York Knicks. "We want to get to the finals, and we should win the finals. This is sports. Anything can happen in sports. But getting to the finals, we absolutely got to do. Winning the finals, we should win." How do you feel about James Dolan's quote?
I mean, you fielded a team that's very expensive.
Yeah, you went all in.
All in. All in. They should win, right? They should win. The Knicks should win. The Knicks. I don't watch too many Knicks games, and I love Brunson. Actually, when they're on, I watch them. Like, but I'm not saying I watch them day in and day out. That's on my team. I'm not from New York. I don't really have any affinity towards New York, so I don't really watch them day in and day out. They're a good team. They should go to the finals. Maybe not win it. You know, OKC is the best team in the league, or let's say the Denver. Well, the West is a stronger conference. I think they should win this year. But New York should go to the finals. They should have been going to the finals, and the fact that they lost to Pacers last year is
That was disappointing. Yeah, and they fired. And so, to my thought, regardless of how we feel, regardless of the odds, if you're the owner and you're the one paying for this, right? You paid for all this money. You went all in. You lost in the conference finals last year, and you fired your coach. That's the first step you always do. You fire the coach and you hire a new one. If they lose again, which if I'm a betting man, I don't have them favored to win.
No, of course not. No.
I think they could make the finals. I think they could.
Yeah, easy.
But if they don't put up a good fight in the finals, and let alone if they don't make it, but if they don't put up a good fight in the finals, I think this team is Dolan's on blow it up mode.
You have to. I mean, dude,
Because
they're
what are we
making a
doing here?
shit ton of money. Like, well,
You
not
need at
making.
least you need at least
They're
a
paying.
competitive 6 games in the finals for them to be like, we can run this back. If you lose in 5 in the finals or don't even make the finals, it's
Brother, can
done.
you really even say that they need competitive 6 games or you need to win?
I mean, I think if I'm Dolan, I really want to win, and I think I'm making moves regardless if I don't win a championship this year.
I
But I think
think,
I
yeah.
think if you don't make it even to 6 games, everyone's on the table, and that includes Jaylen Brunson. And I'm not saying for anything. I'm not saying you trade Jaylen Brunson for a bag of chips, but you're telling me if all it took, and I know this isn't a 1-to-1, I know you'd have to involve other teams, but if it was, we're able to get rid of Jaylen Brunson and we're able to bring in Giannis, they're not looking at it, they're not thinking about it. If you lose in the finals,
I Yes, I
like, take off
hypothetically
the rose
speaking,
tinted glasses
yeah,
for a moment, and it's like, if you could make this trade 1-to-1, Jaylen Brunson for Giannis Antetokounmpo, like,
yeah.
what are we doing here? I'm thinking about it if I'm the
Mhm.
Knicks and if we lose in the finals. So that's just something to watch out for. Also, ironically, this quote came out the same day that they got blown out by the Pistons, by really badly. It was an embarrassing
Mhm.
loss. Uh, so we'll see. Next, around the league thing, this is a trade that already did happen. A Trae involving Trae. Trae Young is a wizard. How are you feeling about this?
Well, we spoke about this pre-pod. You told me that their player relations manager insert,
VP of personnel, yeah.
yeah,
Travis Schlenk,
was the old Atlanta GM.
was the president of Atlanta Hawks.
Okay, and you told
Yeah.
me that could be a reason why he went over there.
Apparently he loves Trae Young. Yeah.
So we broke it down. He has 2 years left on his contract. Next year being a player option.
Well, this year and next year being a player option. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, long rant, short. Hopefully making it a short rant. I think he goes over there. Well, we both agreed on this. He goes over there bringing stocks up.
Yeah. He needs to.
Currently, his build
It's being
is not
questioned.
is not favored in the NBA at the moment.
No. It's
We
out of
kind of
it's out of style.
Yeah, we kind of spoke about it with Brunson, smaller guards. Shouts out to KD and LeBron. Is that the podcast?
Yeah. With
Uh,
on the Mind the Game with Nash as well.
yes.
Yeah.
So that build, according to one of the goats, is not favored at the moment.
No.
You get switched on, switched on, switched on. Good big man, you're done for. So go to the Wizards, build your stock up. I don't know what he's worth because this whole
It's weird with the
cluster
CBA
F
now.
word. Yeah, it's the whole cluster F word. It's a weird. I don't know what we're going for. We'll see as the months go by, as the contracts are going. We'll see what players are worth. No one could give you a definitive answer, except for the supermax dudes, which is like top 10 players in the league. So we'll see what he goes for. He ends up getting traded for a bag of chips and contracts. So
It's just crazy, and I'll be quick about it too, so we can get out of here. If you would have told me 2 years ago that this is what Trae Young is traded for, I would say you're drunk. Um,
yes, and I think
like,
a lot of Heat fans wanted Trae 2 years ago.
yeah, I mean, this is a guy who made it to the Eastern Conference Finals as the best player on a team. And he just last year was leading the league in assists. He is a really, really good offensive player. The issue is that he is the worst, probably, or one of the worst defensive players in the whole NBA.
I
Uh,
remember his another of one of his knocks on offense was that he wanted to be a primary ball handler and never took that step back. Ala, I forgot the word is even said now. Stephen Curry when KD came to the
yeah,
Golden State Warriors, because yes, we all knew that Curry for me is one of my favorite players of all time, and I think he's a top 5 player. But once he took that step back and Curry started playing the second fiddle, that's when I noticed I was like, this guy's on another level because
he could do all of it.
he could do all of it. And
Yeah,
once you learn that role, I think you just blow to another level. It's like, okay, this dude knows how to play first fiddle and second fiddle.
that's.
Trae Young never he did it a little bit, but he never really got to that point.
I also don't think the talent has ever been that good on the Hawks necessarily.
Yes,
Like,
yes, granted, yes, they never had a second dude to be like, "Yo, give me the rock, I'm gonna score."
yeah, so that's part of it. And I will say too, like, Curry is the exception to this rule in terms of small guards, but there's nobody like Curry, man.
Mhm.
Um, his ability to shoot the ball, and then what's underrated about him, but people talk about it, is his cardio. He off ball does not stop running, and because of how good of a shooter he is, you have to chase him. You have to
Yeah.
just chase him. And if you give him an inch of space, he's gonna get the ball and he's firing it.
In recent memories, I will name another two that I could just think of on the top of my head. D-Book in the Olympic squad. We knew D-Book early in Phoenix taking a second role, being a primary ball handler, and he scored, I forgot how many,
And
80,
him,
70 something points,
he had,
and
yeah, like, did he have an 80-point game? No, I think it was 70.
no,
But
yeah. And then Olympics, you saw him play third fiddle, and I'm like, damn, this might be the best version of Devin Booker, where you could play first fiddle, second and third, or second, third, whatever.
yeah, but he can take a step back and like be the off-ball
Yeah.
guy.
And then we also saw it with Luca Kyrie. Luca being a primary ball handler and Kyrie also being a primary ball handler, and you saw both of them, play
Knowing
off each
how
other.
to, yeah.
And
So
and I think that's what we need to see with Trae, even though the Wizards don't have another great player to be like, yo, give me the rock, I'm gonna give you 25 tonight.
no, they're super young. I think it'll be, look, at the end of the day, it's for the Wizards, it's a no risk. Like you're just getting Trae Young for nothing.
Yeah.
For CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, you still have your young guys. You didn't lose any draft picks. He's gonna at least sell tickets probably. He's fun.
Hmm.
And maybe you can build around him or not. Maybe you build his stock up and draft him again and trade him somewhere else. But
Yeah.
you didn't, even if he leaves in a year or two, you didn't lose anything. So for them, it's a win. And for the Hawks, it just sucks. I get that they're trying to save money. Apparently, they're being active on the trade markets right now. We'll see what happens. But yeah, to all the people saying we need to trade Tyler Hero, this is what Trae Young just went for. So
Brother, it's so crazy. Like I if if anyone tells you, look, this is where this guy, let's bar top 10 talents, right? This guy should go for this. Shut up, because you don't know that.
you don't know.
We don't know anything. We don't know. The last big ripple effect was, who was it? Rudy. Oh no. Well, Rudy and this guy that just went for 5 picks.
Desmond Bain, Macau. There's been like some big like all in trades like that, but it's super rare, and it's like you if the offer's there, the offer's there. But if it's not, it's not. Like
Right.
players in this whole world, things are only worth as much as we say they're worth.
Yeah.
So if we could say whatever we want about Tyler Hero, but if nobody wants to give us anything good for him, then it doesn't matter how much we think he's worth.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how many podcasts we do, but like, this is what Tyler Hero's worth, and we gotta get this for him.
No.
No, bro, because if it's not there, it's not
So
there.
you either have to accept that you're not getting that and trade him for less, or you keep him. That's really where you're at. So we'll see. Moving on, just a few quick things, other player stuff. Just want to very quickly mention that Jaylen Brown is having an incredible season. His shooting splits, I'll bring it up. But I say this to mention that there's been some like, and I like advanced stats. I'm guilty of this. I'm an advanced stats nerd to some extent. But there's some advanced stats, mostly like on-off rating, or people are saying, well, look, if you look at this season, the Celtics are actually better when Jaylen Brown doesn't play. If you genuinely think in your heart of hearts that the Celtics are better this season without Jaylen Brown, like if Jaylen Brown were to leave the Celtics right now, that they'd be better, then you've lost the plot at that point.
Yeah.
You've lost the plot. Advanced stats are cool. They could be useful to help confirm or deny things. They can have interesting tidbits like that on off. It is interesting. Maybe dig into it more and see what's causing that. But this guy is currently averaging 29.7 points a game. He's averaging 5 assists, 6.5 rebounds, and he's shooting 54% from two. He's shooting 37% from three. No, man, he's good at basketball. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, no, I just don't agree with that. I think that's very stupid. I think Jaylen Brown's an amazing player, dropping numbers, and they're a good team, bro. Like, if you tell me they were a bad team, I'm like,
Yeah, and
whatever. All right, for
they're winning
sure. But like,
games. It's
nah,
not
man,
like
I'm
they're
good.
benching Jaylen Brown in the clutch. They're keeping him if the game's
I'm good,
close.
brother.
Trust me.
Uh,
Yeah. So
uh,
and he plays defense.
yeah.
So
Me
just
down with the nerd stats.
down with the nerd stats on that one.
Yeah, no.
Nerds,
Yeah.
I gotta talk for on behalf of all of us. You gotta pick and choose your battles. You gotta
Hmm.
look at the nerd stats and then think, does this make sense? And then really dig in a little bit more. Don't just go to the first link. Find the stat and then
Yeah.
question it, you know? So and then we'll just very quickly say, and we've talked about this a little bit, we talked about it pre-pod. Does it feel like the league is moving on from LeBron? And from the old guard of the league in general, the KD, the Curry, the LeBron.
No, no. Look. We won't spend too much time on this, but the kids still like KD.
They do,
The kids like KD.
but he's unk now. Like he's super unk.
He is unk, but like, I see a lot of dudes like skinny. I mean, the frame, KD's frame is very. You see that frame a lot, right?
Yeah.
You don't see LeBron's frame a lot, so that's why I feel like KD's still sticking around. He's unk, yes, but That's why I
So
feel like KD's still sticking around. Curry's still sticking around because
they
you can
are
be
a
sure to
little bit
shoot the
young.
ball.
They are a little bit younger than LeBron though.
By like what, 4?
4 years, yeah.
That's not much though. But the kids like KD. Like
Yeah.
kids genuinely like KD still, and that's crazy to me. LeBron, I was watching the game last night, and from what I remember, I saw one LeBron cut or 2 or 3 LeBron cuts. This is arguably the best player of all time. Maybe on his last run, maybe his last year.
So part of the reason, I don't think it's happened yet, but I do think it's happening. If you look at the All-Star voting, Steph Curry is the highest of these people. He's at number 3, but still, Steph Curry's number 3. He used to be on a bullet number 1.
Yeah,
Luka and Nikola Jokic are above him, and it's not like either of these guys these are 2 European dudes who aren't necessarily as fun to watch as Steph Curry. I mean, Jokic is pretty fun to watch. Uh, and then LeBron James is number 8, and Kevin Durant's number 9.
dang.
Danny Avdija is above both of them. And Alperen Sengun is just right below KD, like right below KD. So like, I get what you mean. Like, there's still a lot of love for KD and especially for Steph Curry too. But we're starting to get to a point where like we're all almost okay with like they're not the ones like leading the highlight packages.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily like getting up to like watch the KD game. I mean, you still are. And Steph Curry's still one of the most fun players to watch in basketball. You can't take
No,
that
but
away.
we're definitely gonna hit that point where it's like we are the people that perhaps not you, maybe me, more me. I'm gonna become that person that eventually is like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
This guy,
Mm,
brother, talk to me about Stephen Curry. Don't
yeah.
talk to me about that guy. Talk to me
But
about KD. Don't talk to me about
our
Jahangir.
guys that we grew up with, they're almost out, man. They're almost out. They're
Yeah,
not in the
yeah,
MVP conversation anymore. Like, think about how
uh-huh.
like for so long, like these were the MVPs, like Steph Curry, KD, LeBron, James Harden, like that was the MVP convo.
Where would you consider our guys to begin with? For me personally, because I've been watching basketball since too long. Around LeBron James, Melo, Wade, where I understood basketball, and then
I
maybe at
think
the deepest
I think
level,
that
but
draft class is like when I start saying like that's like 2003, like the '03 draft class is
yeah,
like I think when our guys kind of started.
yeah,
And
because
then
I
we like
remember
take our generation takes a little bit of ownership over Kobe, but
yeah,
not like I think he like half belongs to us, half belongs to the generation before us.
there is like your brother's age gap, whereas like they saw Kobe play. Probably saw
We
Kobe
we
play,
caught a lot of Kobe, but
but like I you
we
know
didn't catch young Kobe.
I remember rest in peace Kobe. I remember his whole thing, his whole debacle. I remember that. Like I remember being conscious
Yeah.
for it. I remember him winning.
But he was drafted in '96, for instance. Like I was 1 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't locked in. Uh,
No, but yeah, I think that Melo, and then like I fully go into basketball at around LeBron Heat era, like where that's like I'm like
that's where
okay,
because we were at that point we're in our teenage years, like
yeah,
middle
that's what
school, high school.
exactly.
That's when that's when we were more locked in because as much like we grew up with Wade in the early years, we were little kids. So like we were buying, like we were rooting for them and thinking they're
Hmm.
super fun, but we didn't know shit. And
Yeah,
then in the teenage years, we're like really like, oh, like watching those games, digging into those games. Yeah. So that's to me kind of our guys. And that's why I'm like, I mean, LeBron is the last from that draft class by far.
hmm,
And then 4 years later is like the Steph Curry and KD's. And yeah, man, they're almost out of here. They're almost out of here. James Harden is 12 in All-Star voting. Kawhi Leonard is 13th. Uh, I mean, in the East, these are none of our guys. In the East, if you look at like an old name on there, there isn't one. Like that you could say we grew up with.
yeah.
Norman Powell is the oldest name in the East.
That's crazy. That's insane. And Norman
Uh,
Paul's actually like 31, 32, I think.
yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys, don't get me wrong, we've been there for their whole careers, like
Honestly,
Kat,
but yeah, but
Giannis.
they're not our guys though.
I'd consider them like the newer-ish generation
Hmm.
of like, and now they're the ones who are like the old players. They're in their
Yeah.
30s. Yeah, it's crazy. The league it's weird, man. We're getting very close to a league where none of Steph Curry, KD, or LeBron play basketball anymore, and I'm emotional even just thinking about it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like
Yep.
that's weird to me. Uh, Super last but not least, just want to say it for the pod, just to mention it. Peacock is doing this super cool thing where they're adding enhancements that may allow fans to mute announcers and control crowd noise. So you could like raise or lower the crowd noise to either like full mute the game or have the crowd noise kind of loud and not have any announcers. Up or down on this?
That's cool. And I know a lot of people, sometimes even maybe me, like, I just don't wanna listen to commentators and I put music on the background. So that's
Yeah,
it's a W. I think it's a huge W. I think sometimes sports, like some commentating in soccer and football, not in football as much. I think football is overall good color commentators. Basketball sometimes. Look,
depends.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound very mean, but it's not mean at all. I remember watching a Patriots game versus I don't know who it was, like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was Dorsberg and someone else, and I wanted to blow my brain off, smooth off. I was like,
Yeah,
I cannot listen to this. 'Cause there's just Jenny is bad, and I never liked Dorsberg. I liked her as I liked her as an analyst on the floor. Super cool, iconic. As a color commentator, she's horrid,
yeah.
and sometimes you
Uh,
want to mute it. So I think that's a W.
yeah, I think it's W. It's an option. Why not have the
Yeah.
option? And for me, like sometimes when I'm watching the game the next day, like a replay of a game, for the Heat, I'll usually watch with the commentators on, not muted. But if I'm watching a different game, sometimes I'll be listening to a podcast while I'm watching the game. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool if I could just only have the crowd noise plus my podcast that I'm listening to.
Mhm.
And then, I still feel like I'm watching something and not like the game is on mute. So yeah, thumbs up. I think it's a cool option. I hope they do roll it out pretty soon. Uh, yeah, they just made the announcement. It'll be using Dolby Vision and Atmos products apparently. So the sound quality should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Before we get out of here, uh, fired up and burnt out. Anything you're fired up or burnt out for, Pupo?
Wow. One, boom, cast. This sucks.
Burnt
Four to
out?
6 weeks. Yeah, maybe surgery. Hopefully not. Knock
Hopefully
on
not.
wood. Second burnt out, shitty situations that life gives you and
Yep.
coming out of that one though.
Yeah.
Remember, there's light at the end of the tunnel. It can never be bad forever.
Would you go as far as say you're fired up for that? Fired up for that light?
Yes, I'm excited to talk about this in a year from now and be like, hey, look, I'm good now. Always gotta remain positive, even in your worst days, you gotta remain positive, or at least some one type of positive thought. And just know that nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be the next month. Eh, Life sucks sometimes, but it's never gonna last forever.
I like that. I like that. Um, what am I burnt out by? Uh, I'm burnt out by Heat fans. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm burnt out by. Sorry, Heat fans. I like some of
Fair,
you. I don't
fair.
appreciate a lot of you. You guys, everyone thinks they're smarter than everyone, and I often like to just say, not that I think I'm smarter than anyone, and that's what I'm trying to get across. I don't like to pretend that I undoubtedly know more than the people who do this for a living, who have done this for way longer than I have, who have played the game at higher levels than I have ever even
Mhm.
sniffed. So that's my thought. I don't like to think that I know more. I can have opinions, but I
Yeah,
don't ever want to come across as smarter than those people because chances are, if we
you're
all
not.
do the same thing 10 times, I'll fail way more than they will.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm burnt out by. And what I'm fired up for is winter. We have the benefit of living in Miami. We don't have what other people have for winter, where it's snowing and depressing outside
Yeah.
sometimes, where it's like gray clouds. We have 60-degree weather. I think it's like in the 80s today, possibly. I love winters in Miami. It's my favorite season. I wish that it was in the 70s and 80s all year round. It is wonderful to be outside during this time of year. So that's what I'm
Mhm.
fired up for. Uh, Thank you for joining us today, Hansel Bubble today. We will get this out ASAP. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.